Yesterday there was a non-pay-per-view UFC. Adesanya fought on it. Did a little video covering that. How his defense, well, it normally works for him, won't work for many of you, and you should probably stop doing it. Led to a TKO loss for him. But also on the card was Michael Venom Page. This guy, ever since he's come from Bellator, has been a problem for the UFC fighters. And it just goes to show, in his fight yesterday, he's here and he's landing kicks upwards. Up kicks to the guy's chin that just looked like they could actually knock him out. And he didn't end up here because he got knocked down. He actually voluntarily did a move that put him here. A cartwheel kick. It was Rolling Thunder. Sorry, Rolling Thunder. So what happened was he's here. He tips his head over and brings the back leg almost sort of sweeping down. Rolling Thunder, if you don't know what it is, you should check that out, but I'm not going to do it in here. Now, what I want to talk about in particular is the up kick. Because from this position, many people think, oh, okay, I just have to protect myself. But he showed that you can be very dangerous from this position. But the first thing that we need to recognize is how close is our opponent. If they're far away and I want to kick up here, I really can't reach them, especially with my hips down. But what I can normally do is put my leg against their thigh to elevate my hips. And now from here I can get so much more extension, so much more height than being down here trying to up kick when you can really only get to their hips. So finding your feet against their legs is very, very important normally, when they're not right over top you. You put your feet here, it allows you to climb them, but in addition, it also puts some frames between myself and them. But what happened for Michael was he was more at this zone. He was very tight, and his opponent was right over top him. With those long legs, he was just able to keep his hips down and boot upwards, and then from there, not frame his feet up to the thighs, but actually just elevate his hips quickly and thrash through, like dropping in almost with an axe kick. He comes up and hits like that. And one of the things from your back is usually you would go, oh, you're not in a threatening position to get a good attack happening. But Michael shows that yes, if you have a long enough torso, long enough legs, and you elevate those hips and you start almost heel hacking like axe kicks, but from your back downwards, you can land shots that actually stun somebody. And stun them so much that they want to come down to the ground where it's safe, because his opponent actually drops downwards, and then Michael's almost able to get a triangle, which could have possibly finished the fight if the bell didn't go. So if you're wanting to work your up kicks, you can get a wall, you can get some sort of bag. Probably better to have one that's against the floor. Practice right in here, just putting one foot in and up kicking like that, or elevating the hips. Again, you want to get tighter, but elevating the hips and kind of dropping in like so. The hands from this point are not going to be so important. It's not like, oh, I have to make sure my hands are right here. If they happen to kind of flare out to help you with balance and elevation, as long as they return hereafter, I think you'll be okay. But to have that ability to be a threat from not only standing position, but from your back is very important. And it's something that you can practice over and over. When I had my MMA fights, we were practicing this up kick, and I've landed them in my karate combat fights, but not to the same extent, not to the same effectiveness that Michael Page did. So don't sleep on these, try and add them in. There are other ways that you can also throw, like Crow Cop from his back. Sometimes from this position here, he used to come up into a head round kick, boom, move this direction a little bit. So he would be here and he would think, oh, okay, he can't really do much. And then he would elevate to this foot up to the hand and then blast up and through up to head level. That is really hard with a sock, very slippery, coming through like that. So there are ways, and one of the big things from up here is you think, oh, I'm on the offense. I'm only on the offense. I'm not thinking at all about defense, and that's often why perhaps people from the bottom are able to be effective. If this guy respects the person down here, things would totally change, because of course this guy has a massive advantage. So one of the lessons there is to always stay defensive. And I've talked about, I was just doing this in a Zoom private the other day, talking about the ability to be on defense while you're being offensive, not to just be going, okay, I'm on offense and I'm thinking about only offense. Whether you're over top somebody, whether you're throwing your attacks, you stay in that defensive mindset to a certain extent, you'll be so much safer. So cool stuff from Michael Venom Page. Odd style, would hate to fight that guy. Anybody who moves like him, so explosive, so unorthodox, but of course I'm looking forward to seeing his next fight in the UFC. And look at this garbage. I know a lot of people think, oh, Canada has snow all the time in the winter. But you can see from that patch right there, there's still grass, right? We still got green. We had a snowfall, I think last night, and it covered up all my beautiful grass. Victoria is no longer looking so green. There's the mountain where I do all my running, big forest in there. But yeah, this nonsense, that's gotta go.